welcome back to my channel. I'm Michelle, otherwise known as Hedgewitch Knit, and this is where I talk about all my knitting and spinning and crochet and you know the drill. Today is kind of a different episode. I am in a different spot of my house. This is my living room. It is cool. I didn't feel like sitting in my craft room, so here we are, and I hope it's not too echoey or weird. It's a really big room and sounds can probably bounce, and the dogs might be loud. They're very calm right now, so hopefully that stays. I hope the lighting is okay, all that jazz. I think we'll be okay. I've got some massive windows, but I wanted to talk to you guys today about all the things that I've knit non-sweaters up until I started filming this podcast, since it is my 1-year podcast anniversary. Since it is my 1-year podcast anniversary a couple months ago, I figured it'd be cool to just show you the progression, I guess, of my knitting journey. So here we are. I guess I'll start with blankets. I have this one that I made that is the Chevron baby blanket from Espace Tricot. That is obviously not a baby blanket. It is massive, and I'll put in a clip of it on my bed so you can see how big it is. I think it's a king size blanket. I thought that if I took the stitch count of the baby blanket, which was like 40 something stitches, and doubled it, then I would have like a lap throw size blanket. But that's not what happened. And I don't know where my math went wrong, but now I have this gigantic blanket that I have probably used more than I should have. It is all acrylic, it's all red heart, so there is the gray and the white, that is the worsted weight. And then there's this teal, which I held double because it's the baby yarn that red heart has, and it's just a little bit thinner. So it all came out to about the same gauge in the end, which was awesome. I think I used a size US 9 needles, and it took me a few months to do it, but it's a really nice blanket. I really love it. It's a free pattern, and I'm pretty sure iKnits on YouTube does a tutorial of it, so if you want to make it, go ahead. The stitch count, I believe, is like a multiple of some number, and then you add 1 because the math is weird, but they explain it in the blog post that you can find this on, I believe. I will link it in the description. But that is my baby chevron blanket that is not for babies, because you could lose a baby in this. But it has gotten attacked by puppies over the years. It's got so many little snags from nails, and it's pilled a bunch. It's a good go-to blanket. But I do wish I would have made it in different colors and also a little smaller so that I can like have it in different places. I don't know, it's just really big and a lot to deal with. And yeah, it does match the sweater I'm wearing, which I guess I should mention is the Wilderness sweater. I think that's what it's called, by Linka Neumann, who is Valley Knits on Instagram. And I absolutely love all of her work. She does amazing colorwork sweaters. I think she lives in Iceland. I'm not certain in this moment. But yeah, these are little puppy paw prints, and I've made this in these colors, which it doesn't really stand out too much, the puppy paw prints, but you can see it. And I made one for my husband in gray and blue and black, I believe. But I do want to make another one. I'm not sure if I did the color work right. I think on his I did the color work different up here. Maybe this one's the pattern. I'm not entirely sure. This is all also red heart acrylic. Most of the things I'm showing you today are acrylic. I literally started knitting with wool and natural fibers like right before, maybe a couple months before I started this channel. So there's a few things in here that are just 100% wool or a wool blend of some sort, but most of the things I'm going to show you is acrylic. So just keep that in mind. The next thing I have is another blanket that I made for my husband for his birthday, and it is inspired by Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Sorry if you can hear Nebula dreaming. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. Anyway, quietly move some things. So I don't know if I can get this in the shot, but I'll also take a clip of it. Is this the front or the back? Try not to wake her up. That's the back. Okay, so let me back up a little in my little couch nook. So this is the front. It's a big old thumbs up. And then at the bottom, it says "Don't panic" in bright red letters, just like the Hitchhiker's Guidebook from the movie and possibly the TV show and radio show. I don't know. I've never seen them, but I knit this in secret. So I had it. I keep saying knit. This is crochet. This is corner to corner crochet. I still haven't woven in my end. I did run out. This is all also red heart. Although I think this last little corner right here is Karen Simply Soft, but I ran out of the, I always was like, I'll just go get more red heart and then rip this out and then fix this corner, but it's really, I mean, you can't tell. There's like a little tiny bit of difference in the tone of it because the Karen is a little bit more shiny and grayish and the red heart's more like of a true black, but it's not that important. It's a blanket. But yeah, that was a big surprise. I kept it shoved in a little bag and then I would bring it out when he went to work and work on it all day long, and then I would stuff it back in the bag when he got home. Or I'd have it like rolled up and he couldn't really tell what it was. I definitely didn't show any of this because I feel like that would have given it away, but he was really surprised. It was cute. He came out and he was like, "Is this a towel?" Which I didn't get at the time, but then eventually I was like, oh, okay. At first I was like, no, why would you think that? But it makes sense if you've seen the movie. But yeah, that's my second blanket. I also made a Star Wars blanket, which I will put a picture up of. It's also made in red heart and just various yarns, acrylic yarns that I could get my hands on in Japan. I made it for my neighbor, and it was a bunch of things, like charts I found on Pinterest that I just put in stitch fiddle to like make the shape of a blanket. So it's not particularly my pattern, but I kind of Frankensteined it. So that's really cool. I also made a Harry Potter inspired blanket with a doe, and then it has like the always thing at the bottom with the Deathly Hallows as the A, which I'll put up a picture of. That was also from my neighbor. And yeah, they were really cool. I also made a Spiderman blanket for my neighbor's kid, and I made a Dinosaur blanket for her other kid. And those are really cute. And the Spiderman one, there is a pattern for, I wrote it down. It's the crochet spiderweb blanket from the Crochet Crowd on YouTube. So if you want to check that out, I think I also made like a little hood that buttoned on that had like the eye holes and stuff. It was really cute, and he looked adorable in that. And then the Dinosaur one, I don't remember that pattern, but I will try to find it and put it in the description. So I don't know if I've made any. I did make a blanket for my husband's commander's wife when we were in Japan, but I'm not gonna show that. That's weird. And yeah, I've just made things throughout the years, you know. It's been a few years and I've made a lot of stuff, but I will show what I can, and if I can't find pictures, I will just pretend it doesn't exist. But I need to show you this right now because it's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh no. Okay. Look at this baby. Oh my goodness. Okay, sorry. I just and if my camera ever changes position or looks crooked or whatever, it's because it's on a stupid tripod that I kind of DIY'd. So let's just hope that that doesn't happen. Oh, she's so cute. Her little teeth. Ugh.
Hi, baby. You're so beautiful.
Oh, I'm sorry. I love you.
Hello, my love. Hi, buddy. You cozy? Are you a cozy boy? Yeah.
Of course, as soon as I say that, I have to like cut to take pictures and videos of my puppies because they're sleeping so cute. Okay, let's get on with it. So those are all my blankets, and next I'll talk about some shawls that I made. I already showed you this one. It's the Mosaica, and it's by Hitchikers, I think, or I don't know how to say that actually. I'll put it on the screen. But when I got this, it was free, and I guess they had like some kind of sale going on where it was only free for like the month of September a few years ago, but it's a paid pattern now. I highly recommend this pattern. It's very fun to knit, and it definitely keeps your attention the whole way. And I wish I would have done it in different colors, and might still. I know I said that before, and I don't know if I said before, but the cast off wasn't my favorite thing ever because I did it on acrylic yarn, and it kind of just is curly, and there's no blocking that out. So I just have to like let it exist like this, which isn't the greatest, but we deal with it. And this again is all Red Heart, I believe. There might be Karen Simply Soft, who knows, but this is the same color as the teal from my blanket, which is crazy because it's so vibrant here, and it's so faded on my blanket because I've washed it so many times. But I held it single strand here and then double on the blanket, like I said. And then the navy is Red Heart Super Soft, I think that's what it's called. And then the gray and white is a self-striping Red Heart yarn that I think is the baby yarn, but I'm not certain. But yeah, it took a lot of balls of yarn for this thing, and I really do love it. I just don't, it's so funny, like all these things I have where I'm like, this isn't my color, and then it matches like what I'm wearing. But I don't wear this sweater that often. I really wish I did, but I don't enjoy the gray. I think if the gray was different, maybe. It's just such a light, the Red Heart gray, it's just so gray, you know, like it's too light. I wish it was like charcoal, or I guess for this sweater I could have just done like the white the whole way through, or like I don't know, switch the pink and something, I don't know. Gray was not a good choice, but here we are. So it doesn't get much wear, but I did just weave the ends in before I filmed that second to last video, I think it was, that I talked about this. It is a super great pattern, and all the texture detail is incredible, and like this part is one of my favorite things to do in texture knitting. That is really cool. This part was kind of whatever. The bottom, this is like absolutely gorgeous. I hope that that's visible. It's so pretty, the stitches that are used in this pattern. Oh yeah, I do it again here. It's so pretty. But yeah, that's the Mosaica shawl. It's a super fun knit. I have one more shawl, and that is the Gratitude shawl, which is a free pattern. And I did not finish it all the way because I ran out of yarn, but I probably should have got another ball. I was just doing as much as I could to like use up all of this yarn because it's gorgeous. It's the Ferris wheel yarn. I can't remember what the color is, but I should wear this more often. I did wear it for Halloween a couple years ago where I wore it on my hip, I think. I either wore it on my hip or I wore it like across here. I don't know, we were Fae people, so I think I did wear it on my hip, and I had like a little bottle hanging on my other hip. It was really cute, but it's a super fun shawl. Super, super easy lace pattern, and then like it goes between lace and then stockinette, and the lace pattern is what gives it this wavy shape, so it's super cool. I like it a lot, and this yarn is pretty soft and it's held up. I haven't worn it a lot, but it's such pretty colors. Like, ugh. If I could figure out how to dye this on like natural wool, that would be incredible. Maybe I'll try it one day. I'm not a big fan of like non-tonal and solid yarns, but in stuff like this, it looks really cool. So that is my gratitude shawl, and I will link that in the description because it is free. I mean, I'm gonna link everything in the I will link everything in the description, but I will make a note next to all the free patterns so you know which ones they are, because that can be super helpful in times as trying as these. I know everything is stupid right now. Those are all my shawls. Next, I have a pile of cowls. A pile. So let's just start with this one, which was one of my first cowls that I ever made. It's an infinity scarf, and it's terribly sewn. I think I cast it on like 30 or 40 stitches and then just did seed stitch until it was long enough to twist like this and shove on my head. Oh my God, please don't. I did my hair in bows today, but I don't know if you can tell. And I put my little sticks in them because I do that sometimes. So yeah, it's super cute. I have a black coat that I wear that this looks really good with. Actually, my coat matches most of my cowls except for maybe two. So yeah, seed stitch, super easy. Knit one, purl one, and then on the reverse side, do the opposite. If you don't know what seed stitch is, it's like super easy and really cute. But that one does not have a pattern. I believe this is Karen Simply Soft because it is a little more lustrous looking, and that tends to be a more fancier acrylic in my opinion. Yeah. So the next cowl is my Willowwork by Amy Gunderson, and it's gorgeous. There's hair in my nose. I chose these colors to be inspired by Hufflepuff, and I was gonna make a Ravenclaw one for my friend, and I can't remember now if I did or not. This one matches so well with my coat because I have yellow mittens that my husband got me in a set, and my coat is black, so it just all looks super good. But this is one of my favorites. I just don't wear it a lot because it's acrylic and the wind blows straight through it, but it is an awesome pattern. And I highly recommend it. And it kind of looks like little upside down crosses, but I think it's supposed to look like just like a flower. I don't know. I don't know what Willowwork means. But it's a super fun, super quick knit. And yeah, I made the bottom, I think I did the bottom with a little bit looser like a bigger needle or something because it kind of flares out. Yeah, super cute cowl. I love it. It's one of my favorites. This is also with Karen Simply Soft in black and gold or something. Yellow, mustard, I don't know. The yellow colors all have weird names. So the next cowl is the Nose Hill Park cowl by Vikki Perkins, and it is an incredible pattern. It's designed after the Nose Hill Park. I can't remember where that is, but there's a bunch of info on it in the actual pattern. This yarn is from Knit Crate, and it is the first one that I've shown you so far with any content of wool in it. Let me see. This is the little booklet that came with my Knit Crate. This was December 2019. It's called Firewood. It is 48% merino wool, 32% cotton, and 20% baby alpaca. And you can really feel it because it's super soft. And it's got drape, but it also is like stretchy and like super structured. I think the combination of like the wool and the cotton and with the baby alpaca just gives it so much. Like there's the stitch definition is incredible, the feel is incredible, and it's like drapey. It's such a nice, I don't think that you can even get it anymore, which makes me sad. But like, I want to know what about this color gives off firewood vibes, because I don't know if it's coming up in the video, but it's purple. It's purple. So yeah, I don't know. This one really matches my coat really well, and I also made a matching hat, which I can't remember what the pattern was for my hat, but it's got these cool cables, and it's 2x2 ribbing, and then you do cables on 2 of them, and then the cables switch to the next one over, and then there's cables above that. I don't know, it's really cool. I just wish that it didn't do this, because if you watched my last episode or second to last episode, you know how much I hate these little butthole hat closures. Why did they do this? Why? Like, this isn't cute. Why? I just want it to end. I don't know. But I really do love this yarn, and this set looks super cute with my coat. I'm not putting this on because I already messed my little buns up. But yeah, super. Oh look, hey, I wore this to the barn a lot. I do miss the barn, but there were flaws. Yeah. So that is my Nose Hill Park cowl. Another very, not intense, but like, it keeps your interest the whole time because of the texture. It looks so cool. Ugh. It looks like a painting almost, like an optical illusion. It's really cool. Anyway, so squishy. And it's all in my nose. The next one is also from Knit Crate, and it is a collaboration that Knit Crate did with Brooklyn Boy Knits. If you don't know Brooklyn Boy Knits, it's Louis Sporia, and he collaborated with them. I'm pretty sure the colorways were even designed by him, which is incredible. I have this one, which is Concrete Jungle and Bushwick, and he also designed the pattern for it, which is called the Upside Down Cowl, and it's reversible, and I omitted a few of the repeats so that it was shorter and not like a long thing like theirs is. I'm not gonna put this on, but I made it so that it was just hugging your neck. So it's basically a neck brace, but it's very pretty, and like the idea for it is insane. It's got the colorful yarn, and then in between there's cables with the opposite color yarn, and then in between that there's like little garter stitch sections, and then on the inside it's just flat knit, swapping the yarns out. And it's super thick because it's double layered, and you could probably even wear it like that if you wanted to. But yeah, it's a really cool pattern, super cool idea. These colors are incredible. I love them so much. I still have some left over. I did crochet a little harness for my lizard when he was a baby in this color, and I ended up giving it to my friend's daughter for her bearded dragon. So I don't have it anymore, but this is 100% superwash merino. And so squishy. It was such a fun knit too, and I really don't like I-cord, but it was very useful in this pattern. Very useful. Such a cool idea. And if you don't know Brooklyn Boy Knits, please go check him out, because that dude rocks. He does a lot of good for his community, no matter where he's at. My next cowl is one that I kind of took the Gaze Cowl by Rachel Kasselberg, I think, and adapted it to something that I was, I guess, creating. I don't know. It's inspired by Molly Mock from Critical Role, and the way I wove in my ends on this is absolutely atrocious, and I'm going to out myself right now after I tuck this in, because for some reason I left this. What is this, you know? I'm not gonna worry about that right now. So this is how I weave in ends when I'm excited about projects. I just kind of like gather them up and tie them together and leave them. That's what I do. But anyway, the little eyeballs are from the Gaze Cowl, and then I found a cool charted font that I liked and took that idea and drew up the letters for this. It says "Be the Chaos," which is a Molly Mock quote, and I think it's like the coolest thing ever, and I love this font, and I'm just glad everything worked out and it came out cool. It is pretty crazy colors, so I don't wear it too often, but it is fun to wear it and have like the eyes up over your face. There are more than 9 eyes, but only 9 of the eyes are open. So that's a little Easter egg I left in there for you. And it's just really cute. This is all done in acrylic. I can't remember what though. It's not Red Heart because it's really soft. It might be Karen. I did a lot in Karen in like the in-between from switching from acrylic to more wool or superwash merino, because Karen is like still soft. Red Heart just has that weird scratch to it. It's just terrible, but it is super cheap and basically all I could get my hands on in Japan. So that is my Molly Mock cowl slash Gaze Cowl sister, I guess. Yeah, super fun. Super cool idea. I was so proud of it when I finished. My next one is a test knit that I did for the Stitchin' Witch, I believe, and it is the Hidden Runes cowl. And this was done in Lion Brand Touch of Alpaca. So it's 80% acrylic and 20% alpaca, I believe. And I did it in green and this like oatmeal-y beige color. And I love these colors. This is the yarn that I knit my nephew Atticus's Maya sweater out of, and I'll probably use what I have left to knit him another sweater because he is 1 now and getting gigantic. I think he just started walking, which is insane to me. But I love all the long hairs coming off of this. Ugh, alpaca's so cool. Anyways, this was my Hidden Runes cowl, and it's got runes all the way around it. It worked up really, really quick, and it was a super fun test knit, and I'm glad I got to do it. And I wear this one a lot, especially when I was working at the barn. In the months between when it was like super, super cold and too hot. Cowls are so nice for those in-between months because like you can just wear them in the morning and you'll be warm. And then as soon as it starts getting hot, you take it off and it's like your whole body cools down. I don't know what it is about the neck that like traps your heat in and your head. Like I would wear a hat and a cowl and then just like a long sleeve t-shirt. And then once I started getting hot, I just took those two things off and I was fine. It's so dirty from the barn. Oh my gosh. Oh, the horses. Okay. Last cowl is this one. I don't believe I have a pattern for it. There might be one out there, but I'm not sure. I could not find anything, but it's this beautiful yarn that I got at Joann's, which is, I believe, 100% acrylic. And it's got these cool cables. This yarn is so pretty. And I also made a hat that matches. I'm pretty sure I used that pattern for this too, but I can't find it. And I think they're free patterns. Otherwise, I probably would have them in my Dropbox. And I got this little pom-pom from Joann's. Little faux fur pom-pom. Super cute. I wear these a lot because, again, my coat is black and I have to make things that match. So these get a lot of wear, even though they're acrylic. They're kind of bulky yarn, so it's quite warm. And they're so pretty. And I have a little left over and I don't know what to do with it. I might make some mittens to go with them, because why not? I just love the way that the green fades into the black on the hat. And like it starts to fade back into green, but you can't really tell. There's just teeny tiny flecks. It just looks so cool. Ah, such a good set. But yeah. Those are all my cowls and shawls and hats. I'm surprised I don't have more hats. I did make more hats when I started my channel. And I did make the Wolfsbane hat by Curio Stitches, which I shared in my second to last episode. I posted a picture of it. But that one I lost, or it was stolen, who knows. It was such a cool hat. And now I hope someone else is enjoying it, I guess, with the yarn that I dyed. But anyway, moving on to socks. So, I think my first pair of socks were the Hermione's Everyday Sock. And it's a super well-known pattern, I believe. This is some acrylic that I got in a box from my friend when I lived in Japan. My friend would just send me a bunch of yarn. So I have a ton of what I believe is acrylic. And this is the only one that I have because the other sock went missing. Speaking of things that were stolen, I do believe a certain someone took my sock and hid it from me. However, I was wrong about that last time, so sorry, Rory. It could be anywhere in this house, honestly, which is crazy to think because there's not really a lot of good hiding spots in here. It's very open. One day I'll find it, I hope. Yeah, Hermione's Everyday Sock. I think this is the heel flap and gusset that is in the pattern. Not sure. I don't know why I would do a different heel on my first pair of socks, but who knows? These used to get the most wear, but I lost the other one, so now it just sits on my dresser and looks cute. But yeah, that is that. I also knit a vanilla sock, which I think I followed a YouTube tutorial on, for my husband, and this is knit with the same touch of alpaca that I used in my Hidden Runes cowl. Whoever was teaching this sock did a toe up and did the heel flap and gusset reversed, so the heel flap part is on the bottom and then they did the gussets going up, which I thought was cool because I feel like the most of my wear on my socks is in the heel and the toes. So usually not the back of the heel, because I don't know, a lot of my socks I just wear around the house and not in shoes. But yeah, he doesn't ever wear these, which I find hilarious because he'll always be on the couch and be like, hey, my feet are cold, can you cover them with a blanket? And I'll be like, oh, I'm pretty sure that I knit you some socks. Why don't you go get them? And then he says nothing. But I did wear them a lot when I finished them because I was proud. Because they're really cool. And I've never made men's socks before, and they're the only ones. So that's them. Pretty basic. My next pair are the Holly socks, which are also in the Knit Crate book that the firewood color came in. But these are them, and they are a pattern by Seraphim Fibers, by Lauren Gates. Seraphim Fibers on Ravelry. I can read. Yes. And I made them in yellow because I was trying to knit a sock every month for a year, and I only got like 4 socks in. But this was the color for one of the spring months, I can't remember. And they're really cute. They have a really cool stitch pattern. This is also yarn from my mystery yarn box that my friend sent me. So it is acrylic, and yeah, that's the pattern. It's very cute. I wear these not a lot, but pretty often. And this is a very interesting heel shape. All the socks I have are different heel shapes. So this one has a heel flap. It's knit bottom up. So you do the gusset, I guess, and then you do a little bit of short rows with like a reinforced stitch so that it's a little thicker or whatever, like the slip stitch thing that you do for socks. And then you do the heel flap and like bind off these stitches. I don't know, it's super weird. I think this is the only time I've ever done a heel like this. Yeah, that's really weird. I don't know if that's how toe up heel flap and gussets are normally worked, but that's very interesting. I quickly moved on from a heel flap and gusset sock though, because that's too much work for me, and I'm lazy and like to memorize what I'm doing. So I wanted to do my first pair of short row heel socks, and so I casted these on, which are just, I googled braid cable stitch and incorporated them into a vanilla sock to make these. And the braid is on the side of the foot. So on one of the socks, it's on either the inside or the outside. You can choose. I usually wear it on the outside. And then on the other sock, it's on the other side. So they're super cute. Whoa. I love them. And I did my first fish lips kiss heel, I believe. And I also did a very loose bind off on the top, which was very helpful because it is very hard to get my foot into things, because the distance between the top of my foot and my heel is a circumference of 12 inches, which sounds huge, and it probably is. I have really skinny feet, but like it's just a big distance. I have a big old heel. Big old chonky heel. Sorry if my sock was dirty. I wear these like all the time. They're my El Hezron socks. I found them, by the way. Rory didn't steal them. I just didn't unpack them when we came back from Buffalo, so that was my bad. Yeah, those are my little vanilla me-made socks. And I have a pair of mittens that I feel like I should have been following a pattern for, because I don't think I've made mittens before this. But I used my 100% wool yarn that I dyed for my Feline Phantom in my Foxy colorway and made these. And they're super cute, and I don't know what the pattern was, but I normally, for things like this, I just Google free knitting pattern cable gloves, or like free cable knit hat, and I just find things like that on usually Google or Pinterest. Pinterest is amazing for that stuff. And I only have a few more things to share. So first is these crochet booties that I made for my husband, which he also never wears. There is a YouTube tutorial. I've made so many of these. I will link the YouTube tutorial in the description, because these are super fun to make and they're so dirty. They've just been, oops, they've been in the closet. They're just massive. Like, I've made them for almost all of my family now, and they're super fun. But crocheting hurts me, so I haven't done it in a while. But yeah, this yarn is some acrylic, and I think I held it double, which is insane because it was already pretty bulky to begin with. But like, these are bigger than my face, so that's fun. And they look like a lizard belly on the bottom. They're pretty cool. It's a super fun pattern. And then I made crochet booties that are hooked to flip-flops. So I ripped out the bottom pieces of the flip-flops. I cut all that off. I filled it with hot glue, because I think that's what the tutorial said to do. I'm pretty sure I followed an iKnits tutorial. I'm not positive. I will try to find that and link it below. But you have to like poke a needle through all of these things, pull up stitches, single crochet around so many times, and then single crochet flat right here, which really hurts your fingers. And then you do all this cool lacy stuff, and it looks really cute on, and then you don't weave your ends in, and then you just tuck them in when you wear it because you're too lazy, and it pokes out all these little holes, and everyone's like, yo, your stuff's falling apart. And you're like, no, I just haven't finished it. But I have them in that off-white and then black, which I didn't even, like, at least this one, I like tucked the thing in and like sewed or pulled it down a couple stitches. This one, I literally just like left it where it ended and pulled the string through because I could not be bothered. And these I just tuck in too. These ones are a little bit tighter just because the white ones tend to like slouch down when I wear them. So these I have to like yoink up my leg, and they stay pretty well because my calves are way bigger than this because I'm a little sprinter. Not so much anymore, but I have some pretty intense calves. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I even have stuff coming out of the bottom here. Like, what even is that? Who knows? Just tuck you back in and pretend you don't exist. That's what we do. I believe that's all I have. That was way faster than I thought it was gonna be. This is the second time I'm filming this because I filmed earlier and all of it was unusable because the dogs were fighting in the background, and I was like, no one's gonna want to listen to that. Nebby's stretching so big. But yeah, so I waited until they tired themselves out and refilmed, so I hope you enjoyed that. If you do decide to knit any of the things that I've made, you can tag me on Instagram if you'd like at HedgeWitchKnit, and I would love to see all of your creations. And I hope that listing a few free patterns will help someone out there, because I know everyone's looking for at least like some free patterns, or maybe like budget-friendly yarn would be nice, and I try to find as much of those as possible to share with you guys. So let me know if that was helpful, and I hope my setup today hasn't been too loud or echoey or dark. Who knows? But you get to see some of my weird collection of things. But thank you for watching if you're new or old, and thank you for sticking around until the end. I really appreciate it, you guys, and hope you had fun. I'll see you next time. Bye.
I'm driving down an empty freeway, no waiting for the light to change. I'm seeing the sunrise behind me.